Good evening, folks. It's time for, it's time we got in on the, wait. Oh. That's not what I wanted.
On the western edge of the...
Okay, wrong thing here. What we actually want to do is the, DLC case. Unfortunately, this is going to take a hot second. Great start. Anyways, doesn't appear to be a way to skip this part. Okay, well, while we wait for us to be able to skip to the next part, or skip back to the, okay, back to menu. Anyways, episodes, there we go. Alright, so, I don't know what this special one is about. Apparently it's about time travel. So, let's just jump into it.
I'm not completely heartless. I'll even throw that time machine you cherish so much overboard with you.
Please take me back. Back to that blissful moment. It's almost time for the reception, milady. It actually really worked.
Okay then. I don't know how we're gonna get onto a blimp, but seems like if we're doing something today, then tonight will be a night to remember. Okay, let me make sure I got this straight. Do a backflip into a handstand, then blow out the... What is happening? You've got it all wrong. You do a backflip through the ring of fire while holding the candle in your mouth. There's no way I'll ever be able to do that. Surely you can. I believe in you, Athena. Trucy, what are you and Athena up to? Athena's agreed to be a part-time performer in my magic show. Couldn't say no to some extra cash, but I probably should have thought it through first. Now it's human cannonball this, guillotine that. It's not like I have 9 lives, you know. Made your bet, Athena. Now you've got a lie in it. No, I'm too young to be taking out a life insurance policy already. My name is Phoenix Wright, the head of this law office. And since when did you become the head of this office, Daddy? I mean, who exactly does all the cleaning, accounting, and scheduling around here, huh? Hahaha, you got me there, Trucy. This is Trucy Wright. She's my adopted daughter and a magician. And I'm Athena Sykes, the Rising Star lawyer of the Write Anything Agency. Or rather, the Rising Star assistant to Trucy, you mean. If I don't get back into a courtroom soon, I'm going to forget everything I ever learned. Speaking of the courtroom, we haven't exactly had any clients lately, have we? Business is as slow as ever, huh, Nick? Bet you made more money back when you played the piano. Oh boy. Long time no see, Larry. Haven't seen you in years. What brings you here all of a sudden? Some big news, that's what. Okay. Who's this guy, boss? This is Larry Butts. He's, well, let's just say he's an old friend of mine. So Larry, what's so big that you had to come and tell me in person? There's somebody I want you to meet. Hey, you can come in now. Alright. How do you do? Hi? That dress, is that a wedding dress? Yes, it is. My name is Ellen Wyatt. Ellen Wyatt. A domestic servant, a maid of the Sprocket household. Sprocket? As in Sprocket Aviation? Yes, that's the one. Wow, Mr. Wright, Sprocket Aviation is a really big airline company. You've heard of Rainbow Airlines, right? The one they call RAL for short? Yeah, that does sound familiar. It's run by Sprocket Aviation. I see. What is a Sprocket family maid doing here in a wedding dress? So actually, we've decided to get married. Ah, do I even want to know how this one started? You what? I'm not so young anymore, you know. Figured it's time to finally settle down. You're getting married? No way. I don't believe it. Besides, why would someone as well put together as her choose someone as flaky as Larry? You're kidding, right? Jealous? I don't blame you, but green's really not your color, you know. What is this jacket he's wearing? Alright, Larry, lay it on me. In all seriousness, Larry, are you really getting married? Not right away, but that's the plan. We're gonna elope, see? Like, love on the run, I guess you could say. Isn't that right, Ellie? Larry, I do believe there's been a major misunderstanding here. My heart already belongs to another. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm in love with Soren, not you. Say what? That's about what I thought. Oh God, Larry. As I said, you misunderstand. You said you'd help me escape. That's the only reason I ran away with you. Yeah, I don't know. Larry shaking off the police sounds about right as well. This also tracks. Back up. Did you say you shook off the police? You had to, because we're lovers on the lam. Sorry, Miss Wyatt, but can you maybe fill me in on what's going on? To tell the truth, I'm being pursued by the police as a murder suspect. Murder? They think you killed somebody? I happened to find a dead body at my reception, so the suspicion fell onto me. Had me confined in a separate room, and that's when Larry came along and helped me escape. I'm sorry, but what? Nick, me and Ellie were going to elope. We were going to put it all on the line for true love. The police tried to stop it, so we had to scramble to shake them off. I'll tell you, Larry, it all went wrong in your head. A migraine coming on. Please help me. The police are sure to be intensifying their search. Look, it's even on TV. More news on the murder suspect and an unidentified man on the run from the police. A photo of the suspect, Miss Ellen Wyatt, has just been released by the police. Sources say that the 21-year-old is suspected of clubbing the victim, 25-year-old Dumas Gloomsbury, to death in the wedding reception hall after her banquet. Two fugitives are said to be highly agitated and dangerous. If you see them... You've got to be kidding me. Oh, brother. I guess this means we're technically harboring a pair of fugitives here, huh? Nick, what's a guy to do? Well, he's dumped me hardcore. I'm the one who should be crying. Haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been all this time? You don't know? You've really got to stop living under a rock and get out more. I'm the hippest, hottest picture book author in the business. Laurie Stoneim. So he still kept with that one, huh? Kind of figured he would give up on that after that case, but Likely you didn't know that I'm taking the picture book world by storm. Oh, but I know you. You're the one who wrote Franzie's Whip... Oh, boy. Since you mentioned it, I think I did hear something about a one-hit wonder. One-hit wonder? The heck, Nick? I have you know I just created a brand new character to moderate acclaim. He's mildly popular with 18 to 24-year-old women everywhere. Look, you can see his cute self all over this jacket. Heart-shaped pork chop? He's not a pork chop. He's the main character of my latest picture book. A lovable little soul who pierces the hearts of lovers with his arrows of allure, Q Piglet. And you can see this adorable fellow make his debut in Q Piglet's Lovey-Dovey Lark. In stores now. Are you sure? Because I've never seen that book in stores, now or ever. If you ever do see it, do me a favor and buy a copy or 10, will you? Thought you were taking the picture book world by storm. Anyway, you'll defend Ellie in court, right, buddy? Please, I'm begging you. I didn't murder anyone. As far as I'm clean and pure as this pure white dress. No Cyclops. I guess that means she's telling the truth. Helping a fugitive on the run. What am I getting myself into? I mean, you could just tell her to turn yourself in. Since you're going to be defending her in court, so she doesn't need to be running anymore. She has a defense lawyer. There's actually one more thing I really need to tell you. Well, you might find this hard to believe, but the truth is, I'm a time traveler. Okay. I'm not sure I follow. At the wedding reception, I was attacked. I was moments away from my death. But then, in that instant, I made a wish upon this pendant around my neck. I went back in time to just before the reception started. Only this time around, the man who was trying to kill me was already dead. And somehow I became the suspect for his murder. It's as if history had been rewritten. Now wait just a minute here. I don't understand. Are you saying that... What's going on? Mr. Wright, there are police cars outside. Not just one or two, but a whole bunch. Teddy, a whole squad of officers has the building surrounded. The police, there's no escape. Drop your weapons and come out with your hands up. Nick, what do we do? Heck if I know. I see a bunch of armed officers out there. 1, 2, 3... 44, 45. Wow, talk about overkill. I mean, okay, she just got here and explained the situation to you. You can turn yourself in. Listen here, you criminals. Think about what you're putting your poor parents through. Sure, this isn't how they raised you. Think about their smiling faces and their warm home-cooked meals. Who the heck are you? A detective? Now hold on there. What is happening? You can't go in there. It's too dangerous. Wait. Who else is showing up? Is everyone okay in here, Mr. Wright? Oh, it's Emma. Alright, someone sensible to talk to about this. Sorry for all the commotion. So, what in the world is going on? Well, I raced on over as soon as I heard that it was Mr. Butts who'd holed himself up in here. With the murder suspect after he made off with her. And the fleet of patrol cars? Police are being extra careful. Because apparently, a certain somebody yelled out, "Stay back, I have a bomb." I'm sure you can guess who I'm talking about. Well, the police were being so persistent, I had to do something, so I tried bluffing. You know, like you do in court, Nick. Please leave me out of this. Oh, Mr. Wright, I'm bringing this young lady in for questioning, so if you want to talk with her, you'll have to do it down at the detention center. Yeah, I mean, that's how this goes. I should thank you for your thoughtful gift of trouble and mayhem, Larry. Come on, Nick, we gotta get down to the detention center. I'm surprised you're not going as well. Listen, Larry, I haven't even decided whether I'm going to take on this case or not. I know you will, because it's you. He has a point. Guess I've got no choice but to tag along and help then. What? And skip out on me? We've only just started practicing your repertoire, you know. Huh. You'd better stay in practice with truth, Athena. Promise is a promise, after all. That's cold, boss. You gotta get me out of this. I can't take it anymore. get practicing, Athena. Next up is some training for the water tank escape trick. Stick your head in this bucket of water and hold your breath for 15 minutes. Poor Athena. She's getting away. Get back here, Athena. I guess the only person cut out to be Trucy's assistant is Apollo. Well, I guess we better get to the detention center and ask Miss Wyatt some questions. Especially about that whole time-traveling business she was talking about. So, is there anyone here to comment on these things now? Maybe I should tidy this place up every once in a while. Still, I bet we're going to use all this stuff sometime soon again anyway. It's probably better to just leave things where they are. Oh, I see. I haven't played this old thing in a long time. Not that I could ever play it to begin with. And considering all the complaints I get, I guess I better just continue to not play it. No comments on this guy, huh? Or his, You know what, I'm not... I've brought this up so many times, I'm just assuming it's not going to happen at this point. But we're the only office in existence that uses magic props as furniture. At this rate, Trucy's props are going to wind up taking over the whole office. I mean, they're already halfway there. Also, I'm not going to bring the fingerprinting kit that used to be stashed under there. Alright, whatever. I think we can just move on. Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright. Miss Wyatt, would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Nick's gonna defend you, Ellie. Isn't that great? Larry, told you I haven't decided yet. Also, how are you not in jail? Considering you just helped the suspect flee the police. How are you not arrested for that? What? You're not going to take my case? Where did you get a frying pan from? Alright, well, this is certainly a change. Wyatt, did I do something wrong? Okay. Miss Wyatt, please calm down. I'm innocent, I tell you. The police won't believe me. Neither will anyone else. I'm gonna die all alone in a jail cell. Alright, I'll do it. I'll take your case. Just please stop crying. Really? You will? The fact that Larry was the one who brought you to me had me a little worried, but you don't seem like a killer to me. Hey. Okay. I don't know why the pan is holding all of the water, but sure. Thanks, Nick. I knew you'd come through. Did I really have a choice? I guess not. In any case, it doesn't seem like Miss Wyatt killed anybody. Plus, it's not like I'm up to my ears in work at the moment. Miss Wyatt, Ellen, let's do this together. Thank you, Mr. Wright. There, it's going to be okay. Now, try to pull yourself together. Alright, just give me a moment. I'm truly grateful for taking on my case in defense, Mr. Wright. Sure, no problem. She literally pulled herself together. Ellen, please tell me everything you can about the incident. Alright. It happened after the wedding reception. I was attacked by Mr. Gloomsbury. Gloomsbury, the name of the victim in that news report? Maybe I should listen to what she has to say first, though, before I start asking questions. How dare that guy lay a hand on somebody else's blushing bride? What a... Larry. Please. That's rich coming from you. Do you have any idea why he'd attack you? No, but... What? Well, to tell the truth, Mr. Gloomsbury didn't seem very happy about me getting married. Jeez, jealous? Again. Mr. Bloomsbury had forced me onto the Vista deck and was going to push me off. Oh, how frightening it all was. I was just about to lose my life on what should have been the happiest day of my life. So that's why I made a wish upon this pendant. Pendant? Yes, it was a gift from my husband-to-be, Soren. He said it's a symbol of our love. And so you made a wish on it. Now, you may think what I'm about to say is very strange, but I beg the pendant, please take me back to that blissful moment. And do you know what? It worked. It brought me back to just before the reception started. Blissful moment. I'm surprised the blissful moment isn't, like, during the wedding and not the reception afterwards. Anyways, something to keep in mind. So that's the time-traveling thing you mentioned back at my office. Sorry, but I have to say, it's pretty unbelievable. Believable. I knew you'd never believe me. Nick. Ellie here is an honest-to-goodness time traveler. Don't you do a point at me. Do you believe your own client? The magic of that pendant sent her back in time before the creep could kill her. Sure, Larry, sure. But it's really true, I tell you. This pendant is an important part of the time machine Soren made. I begged it for help and it really did send me back in time. Is she listening to herself? They've experienced the reception again, even though we'd already held it once before. What is she cooking? She's just putting seasoning in it, nothing else. What is happening? And turning it, everyone there acts as if nothing unusual was happening at all. Oh boy. Could you not cook while we're talking, please? Alright, so how did you come under suspicion for murder? Well, after the reception ended, the second reception, I mean, I went back to the reception hall and started cleaning up the place by myself. Hold on. Cleaning? Why were you cleaning on your own wedding day? My last task as a servant of the Sprocket household, I offered to take on the preparation and cleanup of the reception banquet. I see. I started to move one of the decorative lanterns in the room, but it was so heavy I lost control of it, causing it to topple over and break open. That's when I saw Mr. Gloomsbury's dead body inside the lantern. So you simply happened to be the first to discover the body, right? That's right, I just came across it by accident. But I became confused and didn't know what to do. That's when some of my in-laws saw me and jumped to the conclusion that I had killed him. So this Gloomsbury guy tried to kill Ellen, but then wound up dead himself after Ellen traveled back in time. A time machine and a magic pendant. How can any of this be possible? Ellie, why don't you tell Nick about that other thing, too? About that shadowy figure you saw when you were being attacked. Yes, good idea, Larry. You know what, we're just gonna go straight to that. So what's the shadowy figure you saw, Ellen? It was when Mr. Bloomsbury was attacking me. Right after I made a wish upon this pendant, I started to pass out. And just then, just as I lost consciousness, I saw somebody strike Mr. Bloomsbury from behind. You did? Then that person must be the true culprit. Did you see who it was? I'm afraid not. Have you told anybody else about this? I told some of my in-laws, but nobody took me seriously. They said it was all just a dream. Can't exactly say I blame them. I mean, time travel? I mean, the first thought is that everyone else is in on it. But that's a lot of people. Larry, for my peace of mind, please tell me that figure wasn't you. Of course it wasn't. Because the thing is, if it happened before she... Assuming we take her at her word, and that time travel is a thing, then presumably wouldn't this also be before he was killed? Like, How did he still be dead if she... You know what? I'm not going to think about this too hard. So you and Larry were never planning on getting married, right? That's right. We've only had a few brief interactions, so I can't say I know him at all. Larry, please. Ugh. You're wrong, Larry. Your wits are right. It's plain as the goatee on my chin. Larry, don't make me send you to timeout. Now, can you tell me about the groom, Ellen? What's he like? His name is Soren Sprocket. Oh, he's the most wonderful man. He is truly my destiny. Did you say Soren Sprocket? As in... That's right, the next president of Sprocket Aviation. Wait, he's in line to take over the company? He's nothing but a rich, spoiled brat. I'm clearly the better choice, clearly. Larry, you and Soren are as different as night and day. There's no comparison. Lee, you're breaking my achy, breaky heart. She's marrying into money, huh? Can't believe Soren chose me, a simple house servant. He's my knight in shining armor, my prince. Oh, my Soren. I really hope this doesn't turn out to be a big setup. Guess I've asked her all I can for now. Ellen, what are you doing? I'll make everything clean and beautiful for when Soren comes. I can't have my future hubby come into a dirty room now, can I? It has to be spotless, just like this white dress. Let's hope we can wipe away all suspicion from you soon, too. Nick, we better get to the crime scene right away. What, you're coming too? Of course I am. I solve the crime and reveal the true killer with my super sleuthing skills. Well, you might change your mind about me, you know? You never get the message, do you, Larry? Next stop, the mooring dock in Sprocket Park. Come on, Nick, let's go. I mean, we gotta... What about Soren? Oh. I really couldn't say. What if he doesn't love me anymore because of all this... whatever shall I... Oh no, she's going to start crying again. Really don't think he hates you, Ellen. You don't? Really? Yes, really. Probably? Don't cry, you'll only cause him more heartache if you do. Yes, you're right. As a Sprocket bride, I have to hold my head up high at all times. Better really watch what I say around Ellen. Alright. Flying Chapel, huh? I guess this was specifically for the wedding, then. This is Sprocket Park. Where's the reception hall? I mean, assume it's on the blimp. Reception hall? Oh, it's... Wow, looky there. What is it? Just spotted me cute. You know what? You go do your thing, Larry. You're probably not going to be helpful anyway, and I doubt... I'm sure within a few minutes, this lady will have run you off because you're awful. So I'm not going to worry about it, and just go investigate the case. Alright, guess it's just me then. He's going to take me to the crime scene. I'm sure he'll come slinking back when he inevitably gets rejected. I'll just take a quick look around until then. That's interesting. The sign was repaired. Looking at the sign, they say it got damaged by heavy winds yesterday. Big gusts sent that bench flying into it. Well, that's what they're saying anyway. I see. The wind caused that. More like a tornado. A tornado? Repair guy was saying, don't touch, it's dangerous. I see. Thanks for the heads up. Guy, looks like it was a lot of work. Huh. I mean, I thought this would be relevant to the case, but maybe not. Hopefully I didn't hit a person, too. It'd be a catastrophe. Guess from now on, whenever I'm walking around outside, I'd better be on the lookout for unidentified flying furniture, too. A huge airship is more to just this skinny little tower. I know it's tied down and all, but it still looks like a good breeze could send it flying. The airship is huge. Oops, didn't mean to say that out loud. I've only ever seen airships like this up in the sky. But I've gotta say, they're mighty impressive when you can see them up close like this. Hey, sorry about that. I actually thought you'd be back sooner. Didn't work out, huh? So now that you're done, you mind telling me where the reception hall is already? What do you mean? It's right there in front of you. Huh? Yeah, it's the... What's that say? Fly... Yeah. Phoenix. Pay attention. Yeah, the reception was on the airship. I mean, granted, I got to see the cutscene, so obviously I would know that, but I mean, where else was it going to be? That's where you'll find their crime scene. Man, not only does that airship fly through the sky, but the space-time continuum, too. The happy couple's honeymoon got left far behind when it made that time skip, though. Here, check the airship out for yourself with this pamphlet. Alright. By the way, I figured you could use some backup, so I called in some help for you. You did? Yep. Should be here any minute now. Oh, it's Edgeworth. Red sports car. Larry, don't tell me you called. You know it, buddy. Trust you've been well, right? Oh. Surprise! Now admit it, that was a pretty good Mr. Edgeworth impression, wasn't it? Maya, what are you doing here? Larry called me up. He said something about it finally being time for him to tie the old knot. That's funny. I'm pretty sure he mentioned something about being here with his bride. Maya, I know this is sudden, but... Nick, what's Larry talking about? He was dumped by his bride. Well, by his imaginary bride, anyway. Wow. Poor Larry. It's a new low, even for him. But hey, imaginary girlfriends never hurt anyone, right? More power to it. This is Maya Fey. She's been abroad for her training as a spirit medium. Now that her training is over, she's back home here in the States. That's right, the new and improved Maya Fey is on the scene. Spirit and girl power at the ready. Look at you, Maya, all grown up and just as cute as ever. You know what? I just realized something. If I ever got married, I'd miss out on all the fun of always meeting somebody new. See, you haven't changed a bit, Larry. Okay, so Edgeworth was also here. Figured that car belonged to you. But when did you become Maya's chauffeur? Nothing like that. I just happened to run into her en route and picked her up. And by run into her, I mean she jumped out in front of my car. Nearly ran her down. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's a friend of mine and the district's chief prosecutor, but he's been busy lately. So what brings you here? Wait, don't tell me Larry called you up too. He did. However, I have business of my own here at the crime scene. Business? What kind of business? Just so you know, right, I am the lead prosecutor on this case. What? You? Yes, it appears we'll be standing on opposite ends of the battlefield this time around. So I'll be up against Edgeworth tomorrow. But I don't get it, Edgeworth. What about this case warrants the personal attention of the district's chief prosecutor? It's a bit complicated, to say the least. In what way? The groom is a member of the Sprockets, a family with immense influence. If his bride were to stand trial in court, it would sully the Sprocket name. So they tried to apply some pressure on the prosecutor's office. Pressure to settle it amicably, right? What do you mean, settle it amicably? It means that they're trying to sweep this whole thing under the rug. Wow, Sprocket Aviation really has that much clout? Yes, they have especially strong ties in both the political and judicial worlds, to the point where no one dares to oppose them. Don't tell me that includes you. Don't be ridiculous, right? It's quite the opposite. The prosecutor's office is filled with cowards, as I found out. Every last one of my subordinates was loath to prosecute a sprocket. Really? I feel like Simon would have at least gone for it. So that's why you decided to take on the case yourself, right? That's right. I will personally see to it that justice is served. At least Simon and Clavier would both probably have been fine with it, but whatever. Probably didn't want to have to, no, they both got 3D models. Whatever. Look, the fact is, we want to bring back Edgeworth for this case. That's what's happening here. I always prosecute to the utmost of my abilities, regardless of who I'm up against. For that is a part of my creed. Nothing and no one can sway me from that, not even the almighty Sprockets. Right. They think they can use their influence to bend the truth. They have another thing coming. You know, I almost feel sorry for them. They were only trying to protect their interests. But all they got instead was you. Edgy, come on, man. How can you prosecute my poor sweet Ellie? What kind of heartless jerk are you? I'm simply doing my job, and I'm warning you, right? I won't hold back, not for you or anyone else. Thanks for the warning, Your Righteousness. So, how's it going, Mr. Chief Prosecutor? Busy as always, I presume. Of course, unlike somebody who has too few clients and too much time on his hands. I guess that explains why your brow is more furrowed than the last time I saw you. Maybe you should learn to relax a little, Edgeworth. Nice try, right, but as always, I have no intention of showing anyone any mercy, including you. As inflexible as ever, I see. Besides, I think I've mellowed out a bit with age, so if anything, those furrows should have smoothed out a little as well. Honestly, Edgeworth, are you really that blind to yourself? Excuse me? He's really self-conscious about those lines, isn't he? Edgeworth, about this incident. Don't forget, right, I'm the prosecutor for this case. And that reminds you that I'm not in the habit of sharing information with my adversaries. No, I guess we are adversaries for now. And you, Larry. Me? I'd like you to come with me. You have a lot to answer for after that little stunt you pulled with the suspect. Benji, we're old pals, aren't we? Personal appeals won't work on me, Larry. Now come along. Larry, you kind of dug this one yourself. Is it just me, or is Mr. Edgeworth as relentless as ever? Yeah, I guess some things never change. So much for mellowing out. Well, Nick, we better hop to it, too. Hop to what? Investigating the crime scene, of course. What else? It's been a long time since you and I teamed up like this. This is going to be fun. But fun, huh? It has been a long time, though, since we were last together like this. Alright, to the crime scene, then. Yeah, and away we go. Might as well jump right in, I guess. So, what do you think? Well, let's see. I think the inside of Mr. Edgeworth's car smelled heavenly. No, apart from Edgeworth's car. I mean, do you have any ideas about this case? Sorry, I can't think of a thing. I mean, she did just get here. Yeah. Gotta get to investigating. You seem really excited. You bet, Nick. Dynamic duo's back in the saddle again. Let's go round them up, partner. Alright, let's get to it then. So what do you think we should do, Matt? Go to the crime scene? I don't know why I'm asking this. It seems rather obvious. Investigating every single place that has anything to do with the case, and then drill every single person involved. Her enthusiasm is kind of overwhelming. Now, go forth, Phoenix Wright. Search out the truth. Well, don't just stand there. Say something. Yes, ma'am. Louder. Yes, ma'am. That's more like it. Gotta do this. Attorney's badge looks so nice and shiny on your lapel. So cool, like the mark of a true hero. If I can be a hero to my clients, it's good enough for me. In that case, I'll be the commander that controls the hero from behind the scenes. Wait, you say you've been manipulating me all this time? Go, Robo, right to the crime scene. I guess that makes me a robo-lawyer? Okay, so this is a hold, cabin, lift, elevator, I see. 2 elevators, a hall, a cabin, and a hold. Peg a cow lantern, peg a bull lantern. Oh boy. The Vista Deck, Sprocket Aviation's majestic Pegamoo mascots will light up the happy couple from both sides of the sweetheart table. Oh boy. Well, looks like one of them ran into some trouble. This is the reception hall. According to the pamphlet, we're right here. Yikes, pretty high up. At least we're indoors, so it doesn't seem so bad. Oh look, Nick, it's Emma. Hey Emma, over here. Mr. Wright, Maya, does this mean you've taken the case? Yeah, that's how things kind of turned out. So do you mind if we take a look around? Be my guest. We've pretty much wrapped up our investigation, so go right ahead. It's a good chance to find out more about the case from Emma, too. One friend of mine is swearing books again. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Okay, so the usual suspects. Edgeworth wouldn't tell us anything about this case, so do you think you could give us a rundown? Well, seeing as he's going to be prosecuting, I'd expect him to be tight-lipped about it. The incident occurred yesterday, on September 20th. It happened after the wedding reception, which lasted from 7 to 10 p.m. 7 to 10, huh? Got it. By the way, you didn't hear about any time traveling or anything, did you? Time traveling? What do you mean? Oh, nothing. Forget it. It's pretty much the response I expected. The victim's name is Dumas Gloomsbury. He's a servant in the Sprocket family household. Well, there's a maid for that family as well, so that means the two of them were co-workers. Yes, they apparently knew each other. Mr. Gloomsbury was the lead servant, after all. He was very serious about his work, but he was also a very closed and private man. So the other servants called him Mr. Doom and Gloom behind his back. If he was the lead servant, he must have been higher ranked than Ellen. It makes the police think Ellen killed this man, a guy who was essentially her boss. We don't know the defendant's motive yet. The circumstances surrounding the discovery of the body don't bode well for her. What circumstances are these exactly? Well, some of her in-laws saw what looked like the immediate aftermath of the murder. The suspect was standing in front of the body with the murder weapon still in her hands. But why would a bride who was just about to start a happy new life kill someone? Do the police have an explanation for that? Yeah, about that. They believe the victim attacked the suspect and was killed when she fought back. But why did he attack her to begin with? Well, a mere servant girl was going to suddenly be the wife of the future president. Mr. Gloomsbury must have been more than just a little jealous of her. He wanted to be the wife of the future president. Mr. Doom and Gloom attacked Ellen first, but if she was only trying to protect herself, wouldn't that count as justified self-defense on her part, Nick? It would. There's a good chance she'd be acquitted if we could prove that, but I wonder what Edgeworth will have up his sleeve to counter that claim. But wow, a servant girl marrying the future president of such a huge company. Sounds like a modern-day fairy tale. It does, doesn't it? Thing is, not everyone was on board with their union, apparently. So what was the murder weapon, Emma? It's a clock with a secret mechanism built into it. It's on the display here in the reception hall. The suspect was holding it when the murder was discovered. So the victim was clubbed to death with this, huh? That's funny. There's no blood on it as far as I can tell. Maybe it was wiped off in an attempt to tamper with the evidence? But there was definitely a luminol reaction, and it matches up with the shape of the injury, so it's gotta be the murder weapon. A funny-looking clock. They call it the Timekeeper. The idea is that it's a time machine. What is it with clocks and murder weapons in this game? Every time the couple sees it, it'll bring them back to the memory of their wedding day. Time machine, huh? Come to think of it. Instead, her pendant was part of a time machine. I wonder how the secret mechanism of this thing works. The suspect never had any family or relatives to depend on, so she was working as a live-in maid for the Sprocket family to support herself. So a maid with no family or fortune was set to marry the president's son, huh? I guess it's not surprising that ruffled a feather or two. Yes, apparently the groom's parents and all of his other relatives were strongly opposed. So maybe they are in on it. That didn't stop the young couple from deciding to go ahead with their wedding. Love flourishes in the face of adversity. Well, is that how it works? Yep. If you ever have any questions about love, just ask me. I'm a qualified expert. I spend all of my spare time in Korean watching soap operas on TV. Not sure that's enough to make you a qualified anything, Maya. Oh, and by the way, I heard the suspect faced her fair share of harassment, too. And from the sound of it, it got pretty ugly for her. So even though this incident could cause a huge scandal for the company, it might be a boon for those who opposed their marriage to begin with. After all, with Ellen's arrest and everything, the marriage is most definitely off now. Yeah... So you're sure this is the murder weapon in this case? Positive. The shape of the victim's injuries and the shape of this clock are a perfect match. I see. I dare say that if somebody were to get knocked over the head with this thing, it's more likely to cut off their future than send them to the past. Can't disagree with you on that one. Is there something I can do to help you with that? Actually, I was hoping it would help me move my investigation along. Sorry, but that's not going to do much for you here, I'm afraid. It's too bad. Aw, don't look so glum. You have to keep a positive outlook. Why don't you take a break with something sweet? I highly recommend snackoos myself. Want to try some? No thanks. I appreciate the offer, though. Suit yourself. You don't know what you're missing. Nah. Okay, this... Nobody's reacting to my defense attorney badge. This case is clearly missing something. Okay, doesn't react to that. Alright. Time to look around a bit. There's obviously the first thing to take a look at. This must be the lantern the body was found in. I managed to move it quite a ways. Looks like a cow, but it's pretty badly broken. It's not a cow, Nick. It's Pegasus, the flying horse. No way, it's definitely a cow. It's got horns and everything. But look, it has wings. Cows don't have wings. So it's Pegasus, I tell you. Oh, I know. That pamphlet should tell us. Let's see. Apparently it's called a Pegamoo. I did not see that coming. Yet somehow the name really captures the essence of what this creature is, you know? Huh, that's strange. Well, this Pegamoo is definitely a male Pega bull, right? Yeah, I'd say so, with the horns and all. Okay, well... that Pegamoo over there is also a Pega bull. Take a look at the pamphlet. Huh. One on the right says Pega bull, but the other one says Pega cow, a female Pegamoo. Huh. The pamphlet goes on to say how they have Pegamoos for the happy couple. But it looks like... Yeah, the horns are wrong on this one. Or maybe the horns are wrong on the other one. There are two males here. Maybe somebody made a mistake when they were setting up the room? It's hard to believe a fancy place like this would make that kind of blunder, though. Interesting. In any case, you better check this thing out. Hello. This comes from the lantern? It's covered in blood. It got on there when the killer was putting the body in the lantern. Imagine going to open a door and finding the knob covered with blood? That'd be bloody awful, to say the least. There's another one. This is where the body was found. The first person to find it was Ellen. So wait, why did she have that in her hands when the thing opened? And what can you tell me about the condition of the body when it's found? Let's see. The victim was apparently hit on the back of the head. Here's a photo of the scene as we found it. Okay, but if he was hit in the back of the head, why was he inside that thing? Like... he wouldn't just be in there. What's this? Grab Ellen, we can read it, then send her off from the Vista deck. It's also smudged for some reason. Looks like a note outlining the murder plot. Whoever wrote it is better handwriting than me, but it looks like they wrote it in a rush. Why do you say that? Well, the writing is only smudged starting from the middle of each line. I think that means the killer might be left-handed, or whoever wrote this note is left-handed. Because I have that same problem. I'm writing in ink sometimes, and that's why. Although no, because then the front of it would also the front of the line would also have an issue. I'm not sure then. When a right-handed person with a slight hook writes in a hurry. Okay. Huh. I do it sometimes myself when I'm not paying attention to where my hand is. Yeah, for left hand it would get the first half and not the last half. Yeah, that makes sense. Guess I'll take your word on that, Miss Bad Handwriting Expert. Hey, even I don't smudge my handwriting this badly. Alright, let's get back to the note. The note was apparently written by the victim. Why would he feel the need to write instructions to himself like this? You sure the victim wrote it? Sometimes write a note to myself before I go shopping. Potatoes, carrots, onions, flour. Maya, are you craving curry rice or something? Whoops. So Emma, where's this Vista deck the note mentions? It's that heliport you see right outside the window over there. So he planned on pushing Ellen off from there? A monster. Doesn't seem to be anything else registering. Wait. What do you think this is, Maya? Looks like a flower petal to me. An unusual shape for a flower petal. I suppose it's from one of the flowers here in the reception hall? No, I don't see a single flower like this at any of the tables. I wonder where it came from. Guess that about does it for this lantern. It's a fog machine for the reception. Pretty cool, huh? Don't you dare touch it. Aw, spoil sport. That's because I know how you operate. Is that on the same thing? No, this one's different. It's a fog machine. I wonder if they use it during the reception. Ooh. Hey Dick, go stand over there for a sec. Why? Just because. Now go. Alright. Got a bad feeling about this. Master 9000 on. Maya, no! Huh? Aw, nothing happened. Looks like it won't work without some dry ice. Darn it. All I want to do is surround you in a thick cloud of smoke. It's a hot air balloon, a symbol of humanity's ambition to take to the skies. Kind of a romantic notion, don't you think? Yeah. I just noticed that it doesn't seem to be tied up to the ceiling all that well. Sure, it's fine. Please don't let it fall on my head. Yeah, it does seem a little bit tilted to the side. Doesn't seem like that's normally how you would hold that, or how you would string that up. Model airplane, the perfect decoration for an airline company wedding. A propeller plane like this lends the room a great old-timey feel. Love to see the Steel Samurai fly a plane like this. You picture it? Steel Samurai zippering through the clouds over neo-old Tokyo. If Sprocket Aviation ever becomes a sponsor of the show, I could see it happening. Why didn't I think of that? I think I'll go suggest the idea to them later. Please, at least wait until after the trial is over. It's one big partition screen, industrial size even. Bet it'd cause an industrial sized mess if it fell over. And that's why you're not allowed to touch it, Maya. What? Then who's gonna test how stable it is? Just leave it alone, please. Looks like a business card wallet. I wonder whose it is. Really, Phoenix? Face looks awfully familiar. Yes, it does. Guess I'll bring it to him later. Can't open it at the moment. Alright. Although that huge set of doors, but all sorts of things come and go through there. Like an elephant. I'm pretty sure it's just the bride and groom. This is a banquet hall, not a circus. Wonder what this partition's for. Imagine people like the reception staff or entertainers use it. They probably wait behind it when they're on standby. I see. A partition this size, I bet they could even fit an elephant. Not that anyone sane would. I don't know why she's up all about elephants at the moment. Alright, so getting back to this. The horns on this flying bovine must be a bull. Seems he made it through the ceremony in one piece. By the look at those wheels, I bet he can be rolled around rather easily, too. Yeah, I bet it would be quite a hassle if you had to lift and carry him everywhere. This is what the backside looks like. Set by the bottom of his tail. A wheel handle? Okay, so it's like a little compartment. So they can get inside to change the light bulbs. See, they left the wheel handle on the inside unpainted. Guess they figured nobody will see it, so why bother? Makes sense to cut costs where you can. Okay. Overall, I can't say I see anything strange about this thing. And I think it's all mostly the same as the thing that's broken. Guess that just about does it for the crime scene. Hey, Nick. Let's see the rest of the airship. Might as well, since we're here. True, might even run into some of the other people involved in the case. Nick, how long has that guy been standing there? I didn't even notice him until just now. Excuse me, are you with Sprocket Aviation? Huh? Nick, you wrote something on that paper airplane. Guess we're supposed to read it then? Let's see here. Get out, intruders. Well, that was a rather cold welcome. Mr. Wright, Maya, meet the lone son of the president of Sprocket Aviation. Soren Sprocket. Okay. Put another way, the future president of Sprocket Aviation. So he's Ellen's fiance. Oh, there he goes. He's kind of an eccentric. I hear he's the genius inventor behind many of Sprocket Aviation's business successes. Inventor, huh? Yep, he even designed this airship. It's pretty impressive. Nick, this is no time to be standing around gawking. We have to go after it. We need to ask him some questions about Ellen. Oh, right. Looked like he was heading outside. There was one... I did want to take a look at the... It's the sweetheart table where the bride and groom sit. They gorge themselves in the wedding feast, you mean? They'd be too nervous to eat in front of a bunch of guests like this, though. They say the newlyweds are usually really busy during the reception, you know. They have to greet and talk with all the guests that came to give their blessings. They don't actually get all that much time to enjoy their dinner. Aw, wouldn't be able to stand that. Can't imagine having a huge feast right in front of me and not being able to eat it. They say brides tend to have an especially hard time because of their wedding dresses. With those tight corsets squeezing their waist, they can barely eat a bite. Really? Sounds like wedding receptions are absolute torture. I guess food still wins out over romance in Maya's book. I don't blame her. This must be where the time machine was placed. Can't believe that such a beautiful memento was used for murder. It's just awful. Nick, we have to prove Ellen's innocence, no matter what it takes. I agree. Can't let this go down as the saddest flying wedding reception in history. What about this thing? That's the Vista deck out there. I bet the view is amazing. I guess it must also kind of freak you out, huh, Nick? Yeah, kind of. Mostly because there's no surviving a fall from way up here. That about does it for this area. Oh yeah, well, I guess we can't investigate where the fog comes out. Alright, I think that's about it here. I don't think any of this is going to be forever, because I think we're supposed to go to the next area now, so... I guess we'll go back to the dock? There he is. Excuse me, can we talk to you? Excuse me, do you mind if I ask what you're doing? He sure is riding up a storm. It is possible. An enormous change in mass could be detected at that observation point, and theoretically, matter can retain its form even as it crosses the event horizon. Let's just see what he has to say about Ellen. Excuse me, but we'll be representing Ellen in court tomorrow. So, could we ask you about the case? Ow. Not interested. Not interested? How can you say something like that? This is about your fiancée. She's under arrest, you know. The diameter of the airship is approximately 80 feet. The amount of energy necessary to move matter comprised of that amount of mass is... He's off in his own little world. I can't believe he said he was not interested in talking about his own bride's arrest. We'll just have to talk on his level then, with something he might be interested in. I feel like he's not going to react to it, but I had to try. Does it bring anything to mind? Even some small, vague detail will do. This guy really doesn't want to talk, does he? Well, you should know what this is. Take a look at this. Is that Ellen's? Ellen told us that she traveled through time during the incident. She said it happened after she made a wish on this pendant. You mean to say you two are Ellen's Yes, I just told you that a minute ago. Sorry, I was lost in thought. I wasn't even listening. Boy. It's not at all what I expected, based on Ellen's gushing testimonial anyway. I'd like to ask you about Ellen's case, if you don't mind. I don't know a thing about it, so why don't you go ask the police? In other words, not interested. This guy is the worst. Now I feel sorry for poor Ellen. In that case, can I ask you about how Ellen traveled through time? Go on. Guess that got your attention. So, is time travel really even possible? Yes, it is possible. Alrighty then. At the same time, it is also impossible. The pendant I gave Ellen is not supposed to operate as a time machine by itself. What do you mean? The timekeeper, that clock we had displayed in the reception hall, that is the body of the time machine. The pendant is simply a part. That clock was the murder weapon, wasn't it? But it's a time machine too? What Ellen experienced is akin to traveling down a road by car key. Physically and metaphysically, it should be impossible. Unless, maybe the quantum system inside the pendant somehow accidentally interfered with the natural flow of the fourth dimension. We're losing him again. Maybe we better ask him some more about the time machine. So you've been researching time travel, have you? Moving through the space-time continuum would be man's ultimate means of travel. Time travel is a mode of transportation. Since the dawn of time, man has developed multifarious methods of transportation. Horses, steam engines, gas engines, airplanes, spaceships. They are all fundamentally similar in that they constitute... One moment. There's three-dimensional movement. Alright, never mind. Travel through the space-time continuum would shift mankind to a new paradigm. I don't know why, Nick, but I'm getting awfully sleepy all of a sudden. For generations, rocket aviation has advanced the development of transportation. Therefore, it's only natural that I would research time travel as man's next great leap. Oh, is he done? What exactly does all that stuff he was saying mean, Nick? Well, basically, it's like taking a hamburger joint and adding a drive-thru to it, I guess? Oh, I get it. It's the same burger, but with a quicker and more efficient delivery system. So what Soren really wants to do is launch humanity into the future. Maya, same as ever. Launch, not lunch. But do you really believe that time travel is possible? It only becomes truly impossible when man stops daring to believe. Besides, time travelers do exist, you know. But you wouldn't understand. Did you hear that, Nick? Time travelers really do exist. All I know is Soren isn't the easiest guy to wrap your head around. Oh, I don't know. I kinda like the way he talks. He's full of hope for the future. He's more passionate than I thought, too, when it comes to inventions, anyway. Yeah, his apparent lack of concern for Ellen is troubling, though. So, I hear that the rest of the Sprocket family was opposed to your marriage. What are your thoughts on that? Master Soren. It's time for the meeting on next term's project. Oh boy. So is Sephiroth here another member of the Sprocket family, or is he like an attendant? Sorry, Clockwork Sephiroth. I don't know. Would Clockwork Sephiroth or Steampunk Sephiroth be more appropriate? I think Clockwork Sephiroth probably. What is this? Daydreaming about your inventions again? Tut tut, you are the future president. You must consider the business side too. It is I found Soren. Sound the car over at once. I'm not interested. Oh, Master Soren, you do give me quite the headache at times. Okay. He's calling him Master Soren. That means he's probably another attendant. So. In any case, your attendant is waiting. Oh, maybe he's not an attendant. Please go to him now. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, where are my manners? My name is Pierce Nicody? Please call me Pierce. I'm the Sprocket family butler. Ah, okay. Nick, a butler? I didn't know they actually still existed. I thought they were just on TV and stuff. Also, this guy did it. Just you know. He's the butler. Who might you be, if you don't mind my asking? I'm Phoenix Wright, Ellen Wyatt's lawyer. And I'm his assistant, my FA. I'm a spirit medium. Oh, so it is you. I'm most grateful to you for taking on Miss Ellen's defense. You have my sincerest thanks. Don't mention it. So hey, speaking of the case... Oh, one moment, please. Wow, a beautiful pocket watch. Oh, this? It's just a bit of a good luck charm. It's one expensive good luck charm. I guess it makes sense, knowing the time is pretty important in this line of work. So I guess that pocket watch is as important to him as my attorney's badge is to me. There's a little time before I must attend to Master Soren again. Why not come to Sprocket Manor? Huh? You mean to Soren's home? As a token of appreciation for taking on Miss Ellen's defense. I would like to serve you some delicious tea and refreshments. Oh boy, Nick, a fancy high society tea party, with high-class snacks and everything. And what about the investigation? You kidding? What better place to investigate next than Soren's house? I don't know, do you really think his house is going to give us any new leads? Of course it will. Say we take the butler up on his kind offer and go to Soren's place. Alright, you win. Very good, to Sprocket Manor then. Wow, this place does not disappoint. Oh, I'm so excited. Whoa, slow down, Maya. The mansion isn't going anywhere. Now then, we won't have to worry about anyone untoward and eavesdropping here. I take it you wanted to ask me some questions. Huh? That's why you invited us here? I'm sorry to have tricked you like this, but this is a murder after all. I couldn't talk openly about it in public and risk sullying the Sprocket family's reputation. He does have a good point. I was really looking forward to all those fancy snacks, too. There, Maya. Don't cry. This Pierce guy's one shrewd man. Hey, Nick, look at that cute vintage radio. Radio? Oh, that thing over there under the stuffed bull's head. Gotta take a closer look. I thought I told you to settle down. I'm sorry. Not to worry. Okay then. Wow, that little mech fixed it right up. I'm not only the butler, but I'm also Sprocket Aviation's repair department director. One might say that patching things up is my specialty. That was incredible. What is that little doohickey on your shoulder, anyway? It's my fixer-upper shoulder mag. Master Soren made it for me. It has too many features and functions to effectively enumerate at the moment, though. That's so cool. I wish I had one of those. Fixing things is a simple matter. Fixing people is a different matter. Even a skilled physician can't bring back the dead. Oh, but forgive me. I seem to have gotten sidetracked. You must be in shock over Mr. Gloomsbury's death. Still, I do need to ask him some questions about the case. I should take a look around and see what I can find out while I'm here, too. Hello? Excuse me, but there's a card here on the floor. Well, look at that. It's a Flying Chapel key card. Flying Chapel? What areas on the Flying Chapel require a key card, if I may ask? Mostly areas we want to keep the public out of, such as the staff room and the hold, which is chock full of machinery. So you can't enter those areas without a key card. That's right. This one here belongs to Ellen. Wait, what's Ellen's key card doing here? Did Ellen come back here after the incident occurred? I don't believe so. She was arrested by the police straight away this morning. Although, there was a strange man with a gaudy jacket in here earlier. Is that man Larry? Yeah. I knew it. The only question is, what was he doing here? Oh, are those pictures of the wedding reception? Yes, I took them with my trusty camera here. Do you mind if we have a look at that photo? Be my guest. Take as long of a look as you'd like. Okay, so I see fog coming in. So that one at least was operational. Although we don't see anything coming from the other one, so we can't say for certain on that one. Looks like most of the surrounding people are applauding. Not standing, but, you know. The butler's off to the side. I don't see the clock in the shot, but it may be difficult because of the fog. It looks like the bull is back there, though, and it's the one that was eventually broken, and it does have the horns. I was wondering if maybe, if the one in this shot had the shorter horns, that maybe that would be a sign that the one that was brought in was from somewhere else, but I think fog billows across the room, making it look as if the couple were walking on clouds. Wow, look at how beautiful Ellen is here. She looks a little nervous, though. She does, doesn't she? Hey, look, there's Pierce. Really? Where? Right there, behind the sweetheart table. Hey, you're right. Bet he was there attending to the happy couple the whole dinner. So what do you think, Nick? Does anything in this photo stick out at you? No, not at the moment, anyway. Hey, Nick, if Ellen really did travel back in time, do you think this photo is of the second reception, you know, after the time jump? I wonder. Excuse me, sir. Yes, can I help you? I told us she traveled back in time. Do you happen to know anything about that? Oh, no, I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about. Climbed up faster than a clam. Hey, Nick, now here's a real lady. She looks smart as a whip, doesn't she? I wonder who she is. We would see her on the airship. That is Selena Sprocket, Soren's elder sister. Beautiful and capable, she was a great lady. Soren's sister, I think I see the resemblance. Maybe I'll show Pierce this photo later and ask him about her. I mean, The unfortunate connotation there is was. Nick, look at that airplane propeller up there going round and round. See, they've got an aviation theme going on. Makes sense for the airline family. What if it doubles as a fan? Ooh, what if the rest of the plane were on the other side of that wall? And would open up so the plane could take off in an emergency. How cool would that be? That's what's behind the propeller wall, then what's behind the bull wall across the way? Oh, I know. Maybe it's the rest of him. That must be where the sprockets get their milk. Nick, first of all, that's a beef cow. And second, bulls don't make milk. Oh, right. That's what I get for trying to play along. A bull. Come to think of it, there was a bull logo on the side of the Flying Chapel, too. The president of the company must have a thing for cattle. Bull is the symbol of Sprocket Aviation, to be as strong and steady as a bull. That's the company creed, you know. Probably for all the back-breaking labor they put their employees through. By the way, that bull logo on the Flying Chapel, the one with the rainbow wings, his name is Rainy the Rainbow. Get it? I get it. He's a rainbow-colored bull, so he's a rainbow, right? What a memorable name, huh, Nick? Yeah, for the lamest of pun. Don't you dare touch that radio again. Looks like an expensive antique. What are you worried about? If it breaks again, Pierce will just fix it up again. I really hope he's nice enough to waive the repair bill. Oh, it's the bridal bouquet. Didn't she have this? Like, wasn't she carrying it at some point? Or am I mistaken? Nick, how about I throw it and you try to catch it? Why me? Just because. I bet you look hilarious flailing around trying to grab it. Doesn't tradition dictate that it's the ladies that go after the bouquet? Who cares? Just catch it. Here. Ow. Hey, threw that right at my face. Oh, you don't want to catch that bouquet, trust me. Why not? They say it's bad luck to catch the bouquet of a marriage that doesn't last. But I already caught it. Whoops, too late now, huh, Nick? Alright, I think that's about everything to explore. Let's try asking him some questions. About the incident Miss Ellen was arrested for. Do you think she did it? Well, I can't prove it yet, but no, I don't think she could have done it. I guess you could call it a gut feeling. I see. I guess we have different opinions then. Do we now? The prosecution says that when Bloomsbury attacked Miss Ellen, she fought back and ended up killing him. I agree with this perspective. Or rather, that is the consensus of the entire Sprocket family. Even so, I heard an interesting story from Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. I heard that the Sprocket family had tried to pressure the prosecutor's office into bearing this case. I fear you are mistaken. All we sought was merely a legal consultation. Besides, none of it matters now, as she is no longer part of this family. Fortunately for us, they had yet to get their marriage license before holding the banquet. So basically, once they realized they couldn't sway the prosecution, they cut her loose. I realize how callous I must sound, but my duty is to protect the Sprocket family, and more specifically, Sprocket Aviation's future and Master Soren, whose genius is essential to the company. I will do anything to achieve that goal. That is my job as the Sprocket family butler. You know, I think Pierce and Mr. Edgeworth get along really well, don't you think? Yeah, I could easily picture Edgeworth with a butler. Oh, and by the way, I suppose I should tell you about this as well. It's about when the members of extended family and I discovered the crime. It was sometime after the reception. Some of the master's relatives and I went to clean up the reception hall, and that is when we saw it. A woman standing in front of the victim with the bloody murder weapon in her hand. It was none other than Miss Ellen. But Pierce, it wasn't what it looked like. That's right, she just happened to find the body. I do not know what Miss Ellen has told you, but what we witnessed was unmistakably the moment immediately after the deed had been committed. And that is what I told the police who came in response to my call. I see. So Pierce was the one who reported it to the police, huh? Did Ellen say anything to you about traveling through time? She must have been delirious. There's no need to take such a claim seriously. Soren himself said that time travel is possible, though. Master Soren said that? It sounds like he is still stuck in the past. Psychologically stuck, I take it. Excuse me. What is it? I see. I believe I told you that Madam will be having milk tea. Still, have lemon slices at the ready, just in case. You must not disappoint her, understand? Sure are busy. All of the day's work. Still, we really do need Master Soren to start focusing on the business side of things soon. Could you tell us about that thing you mentioned about Soren's past? There is something in Master Soren's past that he wishes he could change. Please forgive me, this isn't something I should be sharing with strangers. I really want to know what Soren's still hung up on. Want to bet it has something to do with this picture. Look at this photo of Soren's older sister, Selena, right? I don't think we've met her yet. Yes, about that. He seems hesitant all of a sudden. If you wouldn't mind, could you tell us about her? I get the feeling she is no longer with us. It's a big part of Master Soren's past, after all. Soren's past? Yeah. Master Soren will become the next president of Sprocket Aviation. However, that wasn't always so. Miss Selena Sprocket, Master Soren's elder sister, was next in line. So why isn't she becoming the next president? Because she died in a car accident. What? I had no idea. Actually, Master Soren was also in the car with her at the time of the accident. Losing the sister he loved right before his eyes devastated him. Ever since then, he's buried himself in his research on time machines. He also became a quiet and meticulous, almost compulsive note-taker around that. He seemed so stiff and robotic, had no idea he was carrying all that around inside him. Master Soren has abandoned the company business and spends all his time on inventions. As the family butler, I'm truly concerned. I believe it is high time you let go of the past. Hey Nick, what are you doing here? Larry, what are you doing here? Oh man, Edgy gave me a heck of a hard time. Larry, what are you doing here? I came to promote my new character, Q Piglet. I was hoping Sprocket Aviation would do some kind of tie-in with me for it. Wow, I didn't know Larry was such an aggressive businessman. You could learn a thing or two from him, Nick. Why don't you promote your agency to them? Now's not exactly the time for that, in case you haven't noticed. See, and this is why you'll never be rich. Actually, Larry, I've been meaning to ask you something. You were there on the Flying Chapel yesterday, right? Huh? Was I? Or... what were you doing there? Nothing. Whatever it was, I bet it wasn't anything to be proud of. Never mind that. Did you see anything that had to do with the case? Scratch that. Let's start with, you weren't involved in this case, were you? Larry. Hey, he took off. I just knew it. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Come on, Maya, after him. Oh, are you leaving so soon? We have to run. Thank you for making time for us. I know you have to investigate. Please try to spare the family's feelings as you do. Yes, of course. Where did this guy get off to? Hey there, friend. Fancy meeting you here. There's nothing fancy about it. We just follow you. So tell me, Larry, why did you run away like that? Huh? Me? I don't know what you're talking about. Bolt of inspiration for my new picture book hit me and I had to run is all. It was like a cupiphany, you dig? Right. He's just going to keep on playing dumb, isn't he, Nick? Come on, Larry. I know you were on that airship, so what did you see? I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything because I was never on that stupid airship. Alright, so here's Psyche-like time. Say something? Spiritual power of this Magatama allows me to see these mystical locks that appear when someone is trying to hide something from me. Called Psych locks, and when I see them, simply present the Magatama to try my hand at breaking them down. Alright.
Take that!
It's no time for games, Larry. I will find out where you're hiding. Tell you, Nick, you've got it all wrong. You've got nothing to do with this case whatsoever. Oh, come on, Larry. Even a baby can see through such a blatant and obvious lie. Nothing whatsoever, huh? If you weren't involved, Larry, then you wouldn't have been involved with this person.
Take that!
You're the one who brought Ellen to my office in the first place. And all those cops. Nothing to do with the case whatsoever isn't going to cut it this time, Larry. If you have to lie, at least do a better job of it. Don't diss me, Nick. If you're so convinced I'm lying, then let me ask you this. What makes you think I was on that stupid old airship anyway? Let me see some proof, if you've got any. Doubling down, are you? Fine. You want proof, Larry? Here's proof that you were on the airship.
Take that!
Uh-oh. This is your business card wallet, isn't it, Larry? Found it in the reception hall. God. Time to come clean, Larry Butts. What exactly are you hiding? This guy. Larry, what were you doing on that airship anyway? Well, I went there to deliver the welcome to our wedding sign they ordered from me. Huh. I know you took on real jobs like that, too. Well, for your information, my wedding welcome signs are very popular on the net. And that's how you met Ellen? Uh-huh. I mean, I'd seen her in the photo for the welcome sign, but seeing her in person, the way she smiled at me and said, "Thank you," felt like I'd been hit by lightning. And that's when you fell in love with somebody else's bride, huh? So, were you invited to the reception? Can you believe they told me only family and relatives could attend? Wouldn't even let me into the reception hall. Smart move on their part, I'd say. I got upset and started wandering around the airship. That must have been when I dropped my business card wallet. So somebody else must have found it and brought it to the reception hall then. But you know what? I saw something incredible while I was on that flying chapel. Like... Get a load of this. What the heck is this? What do you mean, what is this? Isn't it obvious? It's a drawing. I sketched a picture of one of the cabins on the airship. So, what's so incredible about a cabin? I mean, I'm sure he's referring to the thing outside the window. It's one of those flying dinosaurs, a real-life pterodactyl. I looked out the cabin window, and there it was, just flying out there. That airship traveled through time, I tell you. I'm not sure this requires the serious music like this. When I told that Pierce Butler guy about it, he told me to never mention it to anybody ever again. Why would he try to keep you from spouting what is clearly just nonsense? Maybe Sprocket Aviation is secretly developing a time machine. No way. Nick, this case is totally amazing. Larry, you didn't tell Mr. Edgeworth about this, did you? Of course not. Edgy would just roll his eyes and think I was off my rocker. I didn't even tell him I was wandering around on the airship. I told him I met Ellie at the mooring dock and we ran away together. Yeah, I can see Edgeworth's eyes rolling right out of his head had he heard about this. So Larry also experienced the time slip somehow. I mean... that could be some kind of complex paper airplane for all we know. In fact, given the angles, it certainly feels like some kind of weird paper creation from Sword and more likely to be than a pterodactyl. Yeah, I don't think that's actually possible. Hey Nick, I'll be taking my card wallet back now if you don't mind. We don't need it anymore. This is for you. What is it? It's a picture of the hold. I took it when I was wandering around the airship. Okay, well there's definitely two different cows in this picture in the hold. So something happened down here. She's writing in something. So the crew is carrying dishes and other trays around. There's Ellie right there in the middle. The hold? How did he get in the hold? It's right here on the diagram. Yeah, but don't you need a key card to get in there? Now I know where the hold is, but what was Ellen doing there? Well, they were using it as a prepping area for the reception. I see. And around when did you take this? Before the reception. I took it while Ellie was getting everything ready. So this was taken before the incident occurred. I don't know if it'll be of any help, but thanks for this anyway. By the way, Larry, I read that the door to the hold is controlled by a security system. So how did you get in there? That's a trade secret, can't tell you. And the hits just keep on coming. Well, I guess that's basically a wrap on the investigation. Not quite, Nick. I want to meet Ellen, too. Oh, that's right. You haven't met her yet, have you? Okay, let's head over to the detention center then, so you can say hi. I don't think Larry's gonna have anything else useful, so... No, why? Please understand that this is in Master Soren's best interest. Sounds like Ellen's busy talking with someone. Next president cannot be married to a criminal in the disgraced Sprocket Aviation. Miss Ellen, I need you to forget about this marriage. Pardon us. If it isn't Mr. Wright. So, their marriage is definitely off? There's no other choice. Not have a criminal in the family. For the sake of Master Soren and the Sprocket family, this is what is best. No. In that case, what if Nick here proved Ellen's innocence? Then you wouldn't have a criminal in the family, right? I suppose you are right, but I'm afraid that will be impossible. That's not true. Not for Nick. He may look like a nobody, but he can do some pretty amazing things. I don't take cases on lightly, so rest assured I will prove her innocence. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I understand your name is quite well known in the judicial world, for better or for worse. Pierce, I want you to promise me this. If I can prove Ellison's innocence, then you won't stand in the way of Soren and Ellen's marriage. Very well. Not even the most talented lawyer in the world can change reality itself. Well, this guy's definitely suspect. The reality is, Miss Ellen is guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. I believe that's where you're wrong, Pierce. I'm clean, I swear I am. Obsessively, compulsively clean. It's as clean and pure as this pure white dress. Fine, you have my word. But you will be the one to regret this promise. Now, if you will excuse me. I have all the more reason to win this case. Ellen, we finished our investigation. We'd like to talk with you about what we found. Yeah, she still has... Well, I think that bouquet is a little different, actually. So what did you find out? In the course of our investigation, we heard that you had been standing in front of the victim with the murder weapon in your hands. Was it what it looked like? It's true, it was holding the murder weapon. But when I found him, he was already dead. I panicked. I was hoping I could go back in time again like I had done earlier. So I picked up the timekeeper from the pedestal and brought it over without thinking. You were so desperate you were ready to try anything, huh? Fortunately, that sort of behavior makes you an easy target for the prosecution. No. As for your little trip through time, none of your in-laws could confirm your story, I'm afraid. I see. The only exception is Larry. He said he saw something. Really? What did he see? I can't say I quite believe it myself, but Larry claims he saw something incredible. He claims he saw a pterodactyl flying outside the airship. What? Not only that, but apparently Pierce Nickety told Larry to keep quiet about it. But why would Pierce do such a thing? Larry's theory is that Sprocket Aviation is developing something in secret. A time machine, to be exact. Do you think that's why nobody would confirm my story? Because it's a secret? I really don't know. Speaking of your in-laws, you did manage to find your keycard at Sprocket Manor. One of your in-laws said he'd keep an eye on it for you. Oh, thank goodness. I lost it while I was getting things ready for the reception. I looked everywhere for it. I'm so glad you found it. At least they're not tears of joy this time for a change. Or at least they're tears of joy this time for a change. Well, Nick, looks like you'll have to prove the existence of time travel in court tomorrow. That's right. I swear that while Mr. Bloomsbury was being killed, I was busy traveling back through time. Great. With stodgy skeptic Edgeworth at the helm for the prosecution tomorrow, we're really going to have our work cut out for us. Ugh. And that'll do it for today's stream and the investigation. So I mean, it seems like this is the kind of thing that, well, I haven't met enough people for all of them to be in on there being just a like them replaying the reception. Like, that doesn't make sense. Until we meet more people that would be involved, that could potentially be involved in the cover-up, that seems like a stretch. But then what happened? Because if yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'm pretty sure pterodactyls weren't involved, though, so we'll just have to decipher that in court tomorrow. At any rate, that'll do it for tonight's stream. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Make a new save data. Maybe we'll have another stream tomorrow night. We'll have to see. It's kind of always hit and miss whether or not I'm able to stream on a given night. But, you know, if it is, it'll be the same as the usual time. You know, hope you enjoyed it, and you can always catch the video if you missed it live. Have a good evening, and I'll catch you next time.